Yo guys, what's up? Welcome back to My Hero Academia, episode 18 of season 5. And you know what, guys? I gotta be honest with you. I do think Endeavor is the main character of the series. I do think he is the best character. And I have a new pairing for Deku. So let's just start it off. At the very beginning of the episode, we get a recap like always. Fuyumi is pretty much just thanking them before they leave. We go see Endeavor, get rid of another bad guy, and he turns him in. And the police are like, "Good job, you did it." And he's like, "Wow, yeah, you're thinking All Might would have done it faster." And he catches the guy off guard. And the thing is, after seeing this, we're not really sure if that's what the guard was thinking or not, but that's what Endeavor is thinking. Endeavor is thinking he still has to be faster. The same way he was putting it into Deku and Bakugo and Todoroki that, they got to catch up to him. They got to catch up to him. He's still doing that with All Might. Whether or not he's caught up to him or not, he is still doing that. He is doing exactly what he was teaching them. And I think it's great to see that, Endeavor he's still in All Might's shadow and he feels it. Although he's gotten over it, he still feels like he's in his shadow. And we go from there to another villain who, honestly, I thought at first it was Twice or something, but, he's not. He's just a guy that Endeavor had locked up previously, and I don't know how he managed to do it, but he was actually stalking Endeavor, and he learned about his, family and stuff, and he figured he got some of the drug, the quirk enhancing drug, he took it, and he kidnapped Endeavor's son. That's the implication, from this point when he's stalking his son, yeah, and at first I thought he was gonna kill him but it's My Hero. They don't kill people. If he killed him now, oh shoot, that would be that would really throw a wrench. I'm not gonna lie. If My Hero really went that step, that would have been crazy. Unresolved issues, all sorts of problems would be there. It would be amazing in its own way. But you know what? I'm happier with him, just being kidnapped, right? And Deku and them they leave, and Fuyumi and Deku have a moment where I now start to ship them because it'd be great for Deku to have a blood relation to Todoroki and Endeavor, so he's related to the number one and the number two hero, and the kid would be like, just think about it, it would be the kid of, and the father-in-law would be the number two and the number one hero, and the number one hero's predecessor or the one that is his mentor would be the previous number one hero. It would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. But you know what? It's okay. And we're just gonna ignore that for now. Pretty much, we see they're all in a car, and Bakugo's freaking out, like, "Why is this car so small? You're like the number one hero. Why is your car not bigger?" And the driver's like, "Man, when did you stoop to giving kids rides like this, especially kids like this loud?" And the dude is exactly the same personality as Bakugo, yelling and screaming. And he's like, "Since I became the number one," he's like, "Huh, success really does change people, huh?" And this is when we get attacked by the dude who I thought he was laying down the white lines and he was kind of making them look like part of the road, but no, it actually turns out that his power is to control white lines on the road, or white lines in general, which is very specific. But when you think about things that are like in this world, we obviously can see all of the roads have white lines. There's white lines everywhere. There's white lines on walls. There's white lines in the subway. You know what I mean? But it's a little bit restriction because it's white lines. If it was just lines, he would be absolutely amazing. And if anything, he reminds me of the dude with the teeth. Except for, I think I like this guy's abilities a little bit better than the teeth dude's. Teeth dude was a bit creepier though. So pretty much, Endeavor's trying to face him because he's trying to get his son back, and he keeps using his son as a shield. Endeavor's like popping off, and he threatens to kill his son because he wants the fiercest hero he's ever met to kill him. He wants to go out in a blaze of glory. He figures, most people don't get really a choice in how they die, but they have some little or like in most of the things in their life, but they get some sort of input in how they die, and this is how he wants to die. He wants to be killed by Endeavor, so he provokes him and he continues to use his son as a shield. And Endeavor is very clearly getting pissed off. Butler pulls the trigger like the Batmobile. All of a sudden, a bunch of suitcases spring up into the air. Turns out it's Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki's hero forms. They get into form real quickly. Endeavor's chasing the villain, And the second his son goes up in the front, Endeavor just stops. He's completely frozen in his tracks because he thinks, about his son that had just walked out and pretty much said he can never forgive him. And he's thinking if, he later said it on in the episode, but if he was thinking that if he had saved him, he would have never talked to him again. And he completely froze and, we it's really clear Endeavor is still struggling with so many issues, and this is honestly one of the reasons I really do love watching him, and I really do feel like he's the main character. I feel like everything revolves around him. Todoroki, the only person that's not really connected to him is uh Bakugo, who is pretty much Deku's like rival. So I mean, I guess you could pull him in there. I mean, if you made Endeavor the main character, it would work out just as well. I do love the Endeavor stuff. It's amazing throughout all of this episode. I love this episode, by the way. The first half feels much shorter than the second. I'll give you that because of how much is going on, which I think is great. So pretty much, he kidnaps his son and he's like, "All right, you can't do it. It's not enough for you to take me to kill me. Well, time to up the stakes." He takes his son, he puts him in front of a train, he takes a bunch of cars, he tosses them up in the air. And Deku has to go save the cars. Bakugo has to go save the son, and Todoroki goes to take him out. Todoroki just blasts this guy with heat, and he goes flying. And then Bakugo does his thing, and everything just freezes all the way up. Bakugo, I mean, Todoroki, man, you could have so much more flair. Like the flair isn't there. He's got fire and ice, yet he doesn't. You can only imagine if he does the snap thing, like from Full Metal Alchemist with Mustang, for like his flames and like, or maybe the ice. Like he punches somebody and he just goes, and they just blow up in a block of ice. I'll be like amazing, but he doesn't do it. I'm just like it's great animation, but I feel like there could have been so much more done there. And Deku saves the cars, uses his new whip quirk, and they completely and utterly like stun Endeavor. Endeavor, after taking these guys to training, he didn't realize they've come this far in a week. And Bakugo saves this kid, and man, does he look like a villain. I'm not even gonna lie, he looks like a villain. I feel like if Bakugo goes in the end of the show, he goes to All For One, and or Shigaraki, or whoever has All For One, and he takes his quirk, or All For One passes his quirk down to Bakugo, it's a yes for me. Bakugo needs something to compete with Deku. I do not believe that this show can have Deku and Bakugo equal if Deku's gonna get all these quirks. Bakugo needs something. That's why I'm really hoping that Bakugo gets something. Although this villain smile makes me so much more like happy. He could pull a Sasuke. He really can. He's gonna leave the village and try to kill all of his friends. Nah. So pretty much the three of them save the day, and Endeavor can't do anything. He just runs up to his son, who is being held by Bakugo, and just hugs both of them. Bakugo, very clearly annoyed. Substitution jutsu's out, and although Bakugo's always outwardly aggressive, it's very clear here that he's understanding of what Endeavor's going through, because he doesn't mention anything about it. He just leaves, and he just lets Endeavor have his moment. But what's really weird is that, the villain is sitting there in the ice and he's like dying here because Endeavor is pouring his heart out to his son right now. And he's pretty much just trying to let him know, I'm sorry I couldn't do this. I'm trying to make everything right. I really am. And he explains to him in detail everything. And the poor son doesn't know what to do because the son can't forgive him, but he wants to forgive him so bad, it feels like. Or maybe he's coming to the point where he can forgive him, but we're not really sure. And Endeavor makes the case that, Fuyumi is really desperately wanting a family because of what he did, and everybody wants to make everybody happy. It's just these two, or this, the son doesn't like Endeavor, but, they're both doing it for everybody else. And, we get to see Endeavor's face here without any of the fire or anything. Really clean, really nice, you know. You just really get the feeling that Endeavor is really struggling here with everything going on between being the number one hero to all these family problems. Man. I mean, if you look at All Might, I mean, he's kind of alone. Endeavor has a family on top of this hero work. For All Might, just saving people was enough. But for Endeavor, he has a son, multiple of them, and he has a ton of family issues. because of all of his attempting to catch up to the number one hero, it's just really clear that, I think that Endeavor has had more on his shoulders than All Might. I mean, they've both had the security of the people you know, as their number one concern, but it's just very different situations, I gotta say. The villain is crying out, and I don't he doesn't really break out. I was expecting him to be like, "You're ruined now," and just blow up and go, Super Saiyan out of nowhere, but he didn't do it. Pretty much Endeavor takes his son home and he says, I'm gonna get you guys a house. I'm gonna put you near your mother, and you guys are gonna have the time of your life, right? And she's like, "What about you?" Fuyumi's like, "What about you? You're not coming?" And he's like, "No, I'm gonna stay." And then we get to see him, and you know how he's been talking about this dream in these past few episodes where his entire family's at the table, but he's the only one that's not there. He's pretty much, coming to the realization that as the number one hero, people are going to be chasing him the same way, like that guy said, darkness will always follow him. So what he wants to do is he's saying, if I really love them, if I really want to atone, I have to do what I need to do. It's not for me, it's for them. I'm gonna have to leave them alone. And, it's very different from the first time of leaving them alone, because in the first time when he left them alone because, they weren't needed, and he was really trying to catch up, and he was trying to force Todoroki to become the unstoppable power that, Todoroki very clearly has the power to become after being selectively bred for it. I mean, it's amazing, you know. It's weird too when you think about it because it doesn't, you know, it seems a lot like the family really does care about Endeavor, including the mother. I mean, I'm not exactly sure, you know, there's a lot going on here, but it really does seem like most of the mother and the sister really do care about Endeavor. And, it'll be nice to see how they met and everything. We don't really get all of those details throughout this episode. But at the end of the episode, we actually see Aizawa and Mr. Loud Mike himself going to talk to All for One, and that gets me hyped for the next episode. So today is actually the 7th. This episode came out 1 week ago. This is a 1 week late review. I was gonna try to do both, but if you guys were wondering, episode 19 has been delayed from this week to next week. So if you're seeing this week's review is from last week, and next week I should be back on track. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys loved the episode as much as I did. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it like an 8 out of 10. Honestly, this episode to me was maybe a 7 out of 10, but it's very, very close to All for One's fight with All Might. And I know that might not be very like a very popular opinion, but it's just been amazing to see everything that's happening. And I hope you guys love this episode as much as I did. Remember, have a great life. Don't die. Dying is bad for your health, and people die when they are killed, guys. Like I said before, have a great day. And you know what? I'll see you on the next one.